Check it out. Last week I did a live stream for a couple hours where I drew some stickers, took a bunch of requests in, and did a whole range of tags to throw to some bigger piece kind of stuff. The chat had a ton of engagement throughout the stream, so I appreciate all the contributions there. I hope you enjoyed if you didn't catch it live. Peace. Go now. Stream's looking good. Hello, everyone. So, quick start off for anybody that's in here early. Might take a quick name request. First guy to drop their name will get their first sticker, and then we can jump into some of the stuff I did. And yes, Sive is live. Also, prep some sketches here for a little sticker section. Did a little kind of weird one here. Got some throwies set up. Got this little guy as well. So hopefully got a fair bit of work that I can get going here. Probably do feeling paint markers today, honestly. Definitely haven't been using them as frequently, so maybe I'll jump on those to start, and then we can move on forward. Feel free to leave any comments in the comment section if you have, suggestions on the quality and whatnot. I've got the music nice and quiet in the background, so any downtime will be covered with that. But it looks like the first guy to jump in on the request was Scales. Let's just double check that. Cool. Alright, well, as per usual, I'll do a first request for Scales, and then we can maybe jump into some other stuff. Let me let's do a full white sheet to start. Got a fresh full white paper sticker, and try to keep my headphone out of the line of sight here. Might need to tape it down. So let's jump into those paint markers I mentioned. Let's see, Scales. Looks like we're going to be starting with a little bit of a red. I've been sketching a lot today, actually. I had somewhat of a commission. Also, let me know if the chat is a little bit too large. I'll try to stay to the right side here, but I might shorten that up. We've got first time using that new chat feature over top of the layout. This will also give me time to practice my C. I've been trying to practice up on some of the letters I haven't been using recently, or, as generally. And C's are treacherous as far as, let alone the tag, let alone everything else. So let's see if we can make it legible, but also have some good flavor in there. Use a little bit more on the bottom of this S. And if you alright, so Nick thinks we should minimize the chat a little bit. I'd rather spend the first 5 minutes working on layout rather than the last 50. Have it look funny. So I'm sure you guys can see the chat anyways as well. That looks about right. Should be a little bit better. Keep it off to the side. I'll do my best to keep my area as well over there. But this is what all the cool live streamers seem to do. So figured I'd try it on out for one time. It's also a little bit easier for me too, because then I don't have to have like 2 windows open as far as the stream and the pop out. This should probably almost be a little more rounded based on that longer. Oh, that L's too long. An E and then an S. I'm going to drop my E right on top. Give it a little bit more of a round as well. And into another S. Cool. Throw me some suggestions on the color combos as far as what you guys want to see on top of the red. Feeling like got some pinks over here. Got a new pink actually that I haven't really touched much. Maybe I'll do every other letter, different color. Looks like we got some suggestions to do pink as well. So maybe I'll do the C, the L, and then the last S, all pink. Yeah, that'll be fine. And for anybody wondering, I'm using MTN water-based paint markers right now. They're water-based, so they're nice and non-toxic. They work pretty well. They don't have quite as much opacity as Molotows and whatnot, but for stuff like this that I'm filling a large area, seems to keep up pretty well. I do have to dab it every once in a while, but the colors are pretty nice, and I like that they're a little bit fatter. They remind me of OG decos that are kind of just throwing paint onto the page and just filling massive areas pretty easily. Maybe I'll come back on top of that. You can still see some little bit of streaking there. So this pink, funny story about this, I actually came upon these Molotows at a Hobby Lobby. They were getting rid of them. They were like $2 a piece. I got one of this 227, so 4mm tip, and then I also got two of the small ones. I think one was actually in the same pink color, and I got kind of an off green color. But for like $2 a pop, I couldn't say no. And Molotows, they could sit on your shelf for a year or two without being touched and work just as fine. So I jumped on those. It's kind of crazy to see the coupon deals that, overstock that happens at some of these art supply stores. I always find myself hitting that clearance section just to see if I can come up with something good. And this store was in the middle of nowhere, Pennsylvania, so I was kind of actually walking in there hoping to get some, strange spray paint or something, and happened upon these guys. So, had they had more, I probably would have spent a little bit more money, but they only had the 3, so it must have definitely been the end of their run. But it was also funny, they were marked down like 4 times over. You could see all the little stickers stacked up that they started at, I don't know, $9 or something a piece, and then went down to 6, and then went down again to the $3 that I ended up getting them at. Now, this stream was somewhat inspired by the fact that I've been out of town for the past week, so didn't quite have the idea to go in on a full video. I thought I was going to be rushing it if I put together something edited, so figured I'd just do a little bit of sketching here, get some name requests and whatnot done out of the way, and then we can see what other sketching I get into. I've got a mural I actually have to prep and work for, so maybe we'll do some letter design for that. I've also kind of started on one version of the letters, but I got to do 2 kind of separate ones. And then also probably plan a little bit for next week's video. I've had some interest to get that first cap video done from my most recent unboxing, so I'm hoping that I got at least a mildly warm enough day to do that. But I haven't had too much hope on the radar. It seems like cold weather is going to hold me back a little bit from getting a formal review. Hey yo, Nick S wants to see a little support. Tried bringing back sticker submissions. So yeah, I'm in a kind of a tough place for sticker submissions. I really wanted to bring it back this fall, but I I'm moving out of Philly probably within the next few months, so I don't know if I want to jump on a PO box. But I suppose I've got a solid 3 months at least here, so maybe I will do a short form sticker submissions. If you guys would like to see that, please feel free to hit the comment section. And if you're unfamiliar with it, it was like basically a sticker trade series I used to run where anybody that wanted to could send in their sticker packs, and I would just feature them in a monthly video, kind of recapping and passing through all the packs that I got. But if I were to bring it back, I think I would change it up a little bit. It worked well because I was able to offer people a little bit of exposure through the YouTube channel. But I definitely didn't take it upon myself to send any of those stickers back out to other people. So there was kind of a catch of an incentive that you weren't really getting anything physical in return. So I was thinking of maybe doing, if you send in a stamped address envelope, you can get a pack back, and I think that would be a little bit better way to approach it, and also get a little bit more interaction. So you're gonna get maybe a guarantee of 10 stickers back, and then after that, you can also guarantee that your stickers get sent around and whatnot. And I got you Nick S on Paces. I'll for sure hit that up. Feel free to leave any suggestions as color combos and whatnot, or maybe style combos after this kind of soft style guy here. Let's see what we can spice this up with a little bit. Adam, do I know the Graffiti Crew 1-Up? I sure do. I'm familiar with their work online. I don't think I've ever caught any of their work in person. They're out of Europe, if I'm correct. Yeah, this postcode was giving me trouble earlier. Let's see if I can come up with guess we're going with another fine line from Montana White, or Montana Water-based. Let's see how this works on top of these guys. I think I'm going to do no overlapping, leave the colors to kind of define the overlap section. And maybe I'll come back and cut those in as well. Yeah, Stu, I'd have to agree. The Molotow marker is definitely one of those that is kind of tried and true. And if I'm ever putting up any work or ensuring that I want it to last in perfect condition, they definitely my go-to. It's just kind of got the full color range, and then you got a lot of consistency as far as the opacity goes. And just knowing all that, you can kind of rely on them pretty heavily. Not that like these water-based are, any physically worse on the page, but I would maybe be a little hesitant to say that they're gonna pull equal weight when you're running on some tougher surfaces or out in the elements. It's kind of a little funny A in there. let's see how the C turns out. I've been trying to kind of cut my C in a little bit more on the top and bottom, just so because it seems like when I leave it straight, it just doesn't kind of have any characteristics to it. It just kind of sits there and looks really open. So in order to get rid of that, I might just drop my 3D above it. Let's see what this top-down 3D looks like. Maybe we'll pull it off to the right a little bit. Damn, that was pretty messy. First S could also use a little bit of shape work. Alright, for our first pass, not bad. Let's hit some cutbacks, see what salvaging we can do. This will be interesting. I think I'm going to be doing a lot of swapping back and forth. Molotows covering up the MTN pretty nicely. It's always a good sign. Try to do all my pinks together, so not switching back and forth a million times. Seems like the water base covers itself all right. Say about the same as the Molotow covering it. I feel like cutbacks are just the biggest savior here. It can totally just give life back to the outline of a sticker and really just show you where you need to kind of touch up and maybe just get revisited to one section. Kind of like how this E worked down there, so I'm just going to cut that straight. Looks alright. Could go for some highlights, maybe an outline. Just refilled this white actually. Good time to put it to use. And if you're looking for a way to save some money, definitely get yourself a refill bottle of your whites and your blacks for your paint markers. I bought, I don't know even how big this is, 30 milliliters. This must run you like $10, and I filled up so many white markers with it. Even now this is kind of a hybrid marker. It's a Montana acrylic marker, but it works great as far as the hardware goes, but it ran out. Simply just drop some of the Molotow in and it works brand new. So rather than spending, $6 a marker every time, you can spend $10 once and get 15 markers out of it probably. Especially, this marker in particular has a plastic nib on it, so it's not, the best in all cases, but I've gotten new nibs for some of my Molotow markers as well. Rather than replacing all the hardware, you can replace a couple little components, a lot cheaper, and also, mix your own colors at that point if you got a bunch of actual colors for your refills. I guess I can definitely do a different style for you. I didn't write down what you wanted. Let me see if I can go back and catch that. Paces, easy enough. I'll write that down off to the side so I don't forget again. My style looks like a Wi-Fi symbol. I can see that. I've thought that as well. Damn, the colors totally change when I'm putting my hand on there. I didn't notice that. Let's see what I've got set up for my white balance. Just need to be auto. Guess we're probably just gonna have to leave it like that. I'm not quite sure why it's doing that. Adam Bram, do I ever do illegal? Do you only do legal? I only do legal graffiti online. It's definitely not worth giving people extra reason to hunt you down. So that's for sure. Now, I can't suggest that anybody do illegal graffiti, but definitely comes with the nature of some of this stuff. Definitely can't say that the legality of getting caught is just definitely not worth all the troubles that come along with that. So I would not recommend anybody else to go that direction. My channel's definitely dedicated to the in-house stuff as far as reviews and whatnot goes. I think I'm going to give this a quick cleanup on some of the blacks, and then we're good to go on to paces. Cool. Smoke break. I'll save the cutout for later. Let's jump on to paces. He requested a slightly different style, so maybe we'll do a little bit of a straight letter. He's also challenging me with that C again, so we'll got some work ahead. Let me grab some bigger postals. Those look good. Actually gonna trim them down to get rid of some of our red center. Quick overlap so we have enough room for all 5 letters. Now we got basically a full white sticker. Probably going to be streaming for a couple hours. I've got some other stuff to do tonight, but figured it was the least I can do after not having a video for this week. A solid 2-hour stream would be some good content for you guys. So paces. Wonder how I should set this up. P-A-C-E-S. So maybe we'll start with the C in the middle. Thinking a straight letter. And maybe we'll do a bottom-oriented one so it comes down into and bottoms out. Can't remember the last time I did a C in kind of a straight letter style, so I'm gonna give myself a crutch and have the general C outline there. And we'll box it up and work out from that. Trying to keep it away from looking like a G. I think I can work off that. I really like the color combo that this is producing. Almost has a fire look to it just with the orange alone. So, PA. So, let's have the P come down from here and squeeze the A in at the bottom. I'll have the P stem come off and then kink over, so we got a little bit better use of that room over there. Make that a little bit wider. I think I'll also show the back side of it up there. Stick over to the right. Slow. You can expect the gang run next week. I had to wait on someone to get their design in, so hoping to print the next gang run of designs Monday or Tuesday of next week. So I've got pretty much all the screens prepped for everything that I have, just waiting on the last couple designs. Fill out that space. Real excited for it. I got a double print run for the white, so I've got 16 hits on that and then 8 hits on the holographic. So expect another print update that's kind of representative of all those. I think they're going to look real cool. Some pretty sweet designs as well. I'm moving on to the E. I've kind of moved away from keeping the bottom orientation, but I think I'll hit the E. A similar style to the P with kind of that curve over there. Maybe just a short bottom side. Spaces, correct. S on the end, okay. I'm going to do a short top here. Add some hookups after I get that S on there. So it's kind of been crazy. Graffiti's been in the news more than I think it has been in the past couple years altogether in this past month or so. All that H&M stuff going down was pretty crazy. I'm sure everybody's heard about it by now, but it seems kind of wild to see what, legal repercussions are going to come out of that, because, obviously you gotta want to support the graffiti artists here, but at the same time it's like, how much can you claim that something's yours if you did it wrongfully in the first place? So it's always kind of an interesting predicament, because somewhat in a very similar vein, a big open-air graffiti kind of legal wall in New York, they just got repercussions for the owner just outright painting over top of everything there. He was planning on selling the building, but prior to that, it was a big legal wall area. So he painted it white, and he got in big trouble because I guess, with fine art, it's protected by, the rights, so you can't purchase someone's art just to destroy it, basically. So in that similar respect, he wasn't allowed to actually just paint over and white out this whole area, because the artwork there was maybe not meaningful to him anymore, but it was meaningful to the creators and just the art in general to have that. So they came out, all the guys that had the large production murals and stuff there, all came out, I guess, pretty handsomely with a little bit of bounty over the fact that their art had been full on ruined. And despite that all being conducted legally, it's interesting to see the revoke thing, just saying like, well, he's trying to claim ownership that his stuff's being used without his permission, but it seems like if you don't quite have permission to do it in the first place, I don't know that there's much legal ground to stand on top of, because if a street photographer goes and just takes photographs of downtown New York or LA or anything, and they catch some art in the background, is it wrong for them to go out and sell their prints of their artwork? It's kind of funny to see the whole mix of that. So I'll be interested to see if more comes of all that, and we're able to see kind of it play out. And if he does hold some ground, it would be interesting to see what that does for advertisers and whatnot in the future. I'm gonna add some hookups down here. I don't know if I would be super upset. You could definitely say I could see you being more upset if they were falsely representing a branded thing. But when it's art, it's kind of hard to call a style or a piece of work totally unique to you and representative of you. So I don't know if misrepresentation is the biggest fear for a lot of people, and that they're putting your art next to something that you definitely don't want your art represented with, whether that's could be something as simple as a brand you don't like, or something as far as something being racist. So I'd be interested to see if he's able to kind of salvage that kind of false representation or unjust representation to be it. Because if he's able to do that, then it kind of seems like we're just stuck with brands having to kind of black out or hide and mask all the art and whatnot they find in the background of their current stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how it all falls out. I think let's do something a little different. Let's go for turquoise as our hit. I could probably do a dark blue for an outline as well then. Let's do the dark blue outline, and I think some turquoise on top would look, and change this up a little bit. I'm kind of sick of this normal color combos at this point. I'm definitely trying to switch things up. So we got a super dark blue here. Almost a green. This is one of my most underused Molotows, so maybe that's partially why I'm trying to get on it as well. I feel like I should put together a challenge where you have to use all the colors that you've never touched in your arsenal. I feel like I've got stuff like this dark green that have yet to really even see the light of day, and I've had the marker for a couple years just because you can't find much use into it in a lot of pieces, and then I find myself just working back off the same color combos and whatnot. So we'll see what I can muster up here with the dark green. I think it also just adds a little bit more character to the piece. You get a little bit different of a contrasting color off that. I'm digging this A so far. I think I'm gonna let the C overlap it over there, just so the C has a little bit more weight on the page. feel like the sea could be quickly understated, especially since I don't have a ton of information on it. I think I'm going to need to study up on sea now that I've got hit with it twice already today, and knowing that I haven't practiced it nearly enough. That looks alright. Maybe we'll throw some cutbacks on top of it. Justin, I'm currently in West Philly, so I've been here for a couple years now. Definitely a nice area. Philly's a cool city, but this summer I'm looking to move out towards the Denver area after I graduate from school, so we'll see what that chapter holds. Only downside to a colder climate is less outdoor painting, but maybe we'll find something to work in there. Philly's got pretty nice winter so far, so I haven't gotten out too much. I was hoping to get those caps tested up, but I wasn't able to get the warmer weather while I was back this week. Just out of curiosity, what are the furthest extents the chat is from? Seems like we got hopefully some U.S. people based on the time zone. But I assume maybe we got some maybe early risers over in Australia, or maybe I think it's super late there right now, actually. So maybe late enough to be early, that is. Some people from UK, Oklahoma, that's the first. I don't think I've ever been to Oklahoma. Berlin, Germany. Alright, bro, we got another from Pennsylvania and Oregon. A nice little spread across the US and some internationals. I don't know where I should add Cool, I'm happy with that green choice. Mississippi, that's a ways away as well. Got nice Brazil. It always fascinates me when people from Brazil and the foreign countries to the U.S. comment in the chats. Especially, it's fun trying to throw my comments into Google Translate so we can still chit-chat back and forth. Definitely commend anybody that can master another language. I was never nearly strong or proficient in a foreign language. Took Spanish for a few years, but definitely didn't take my time to learn the basics, so when it got harder it was nonetheless impossible. I also think it didn't help because my school always threw those classes like end of the day after lunch in middle school and whatnot, so you can definitely tell that people were less interested in learning after that. Definitely eager to get outside more than sit around and learn something totally new. Which I also definitely think it works against, respecting that it's probably a good thing to learn those languages rather than just shove them at the end of the day when the teachers are tired just as much as the students. Toji, I got you after this. Yeah, so the last week I mentioned it in my print update. I was actually out around the Grand Canyon. If you caught my Instagram page, I was posting a few things here and there while I was traveling, but I was doing a bunch of hiking down there, and also I was filming for a new lookbook video. Got some new sweatshirts, got some new t-shirts, and actually a new bandana coming out. So I'm pretty hype about all that. Video filmed was interesting. I think I'll be able to mash it up and get some, maybe a minute or so of some quality stuff put together. But more excited about the product than anything, so I'm hoping it works well, and maybe I'll shoot some extra stuff here now that I'm back in Philly as well. So we'll see how that all turns out. The design is definitely something different. I went for more illustration stuff, so I don't know how much I want to give away, but I'll definitely preview that it's got a change of pace, but I'm pretty happy with it, and the few friends I shared it with seemed pretty hype on it as well, so I'm excited to see how you guys receive it. It's always interesting to try out a new project, and I wouldn't say I was fearful of going into it, but damn did it take a long time. You know, the background timing on some of these projects is just outrageous. The problem is I wasn't, super happy with the outcome of the design, so I reworked it 2 and 3 times from, concept to different stages, and then worked from there a few times and scratched a bunch of different stuff. But seeing that it was a totally new space of designing more of an image than just some lettering, I think it turned out pretty good, and it'll at least be a fun new product, because the bandanas are not just your typical bandana. I think that's going to be a nice little surprise, and I haven't seen anybody else do something like just the same as this in the graffiti related area, so I think it's going to be also cutting edge enough that pique some interest, hopefully turn some heads, and get you guys looking fresh. I think this needs also a white highlight. I wish this marker would work a little bit better. I feel like I'm just using it as a regular marker at that point. Alright, definitely needs maybe some bubbles. Give this a good shake. I think that's what I needed. Stuff's flowing way better now. It's kind of funny. I feel like half the time when I use a paint marker, I finally get it started as I'm finishing using it, and then I put it away and have to work through it all again at the start of the next time I need it. Alright. I think we could maybe use some red in here. Coming across on camera, you can see these a little bit too much. Doesn't quite look that bad in person, but let's maybe throw some red details on there. And do a shadow on the left side and a highlight on the right. Well, just put that on the wrong side. See how this looks. Test it out on the P first. And work from there. Red's a little thick. Maybe I should just go thick on the white too. Risky business. Justin, I like the offer. Feel free to maybe send me a message on Instagram or whatnot, and I can check out your work, and we can maybe finish up my book a little bit. Alright, let's do some big white hits. Alright. Not too shabby. I like the stipples. Maybe I'll take it easy on the red, try to do a little bit higher of a off the page so it doesn't hit too heavy. Could always throw on some cracks in this as well. Seems like always a safe way to add a little bit more detail to the piece without going too overboard on the structure. I've also been messing around with S's that have, just the straight top here. I've been feeling it a little bit at times, and then other times I kind of just fall back on, the traditional top hat kind of version. Definitely trying to push my comfort levels, as always helps to keep things interesting as well. And it's also, doing these requests is pretty rewarding as far as pushing the style limits and checking new contours out and whatnot, so I always like doing these every once in a while. Alright, I got some red on this, and then we're probably toasty. So, like I said, God damn. Get close to the page with my head so I can kind of get a better look at this. And also, I'm putting just barely any pressure down with the red, so I can make sure that the line's a little bit skinnier. I think the red needs some stipples too. Blood splatters at this time. Next up is Toji. If you guys want to hit the super chat, you can get your name in line. And I'll also be hitting up some my own stickers as well, if we've got some downtime. Got a mural I need to kind of work on. It's an interesting one. I can't say I've ever hit a paneled wall where there's a corner in the middle of a piece. So I've got one that's got two, actually. So it's kind of a trifold of a wall. So that's definitely going to be a nice fun challenge. Nice. Worked out pretty well. Do one last cut back with the dark green and she'll be pretty. It's kind of crazy how much the final outline can really bring a piece together. and just going a teeny bit slower on it as well. Make sure the lines are extra crisp. Can really make it pop. I'll even do that with my black book pieces. If it's in Sharpie and whatnot, I'll go do a second Sharpie hit over top of everything, and it just adds a little bit more contrast to the black Sharpie on the page, so you can get just a really, really dark, deep outline. But then again, I probably should be using something a little bit better than a thin Sharpie for my outlines. The few kind of skinny markers I've gotten, I wasn't at the time willing to pay for, the $6 microns and whatnot, so I kind of got the off-branded ones, and for that reason it seems like they just, don't hold up too well. They either streak or they're a little bit inconsistent. I've even had one with the nib kind of break off on it, so we'll see what, maybe next time I'm in an art store I can find a better outline. I can't honestly say that I have used microns, just barely, but everybody says those are the go-to. So maybe I'll work in a little review if it's all up to the hype that everybody says, because that's seemingly the only marker name I've ever heard name dropped for an outline, aside from a traditional Sharpie. Cool, paces. Looking alright. Could maybe use some dark blue in the background. A couple little bubbles. Add a little contrast off the white. I feel like my color selection's always kind of haphazard and put together at the last minute, but for that reason I feel like I'm able to kind of just work off of the few colors I do want to include, and then put everything else in its place as it comes. So I feel like more often than not I'm pretty satisfied with the color selection, because right now you can see I don't have a ton of contrast here off the red back into the orange and red over there. So just adding a little bit darker of a blue hit on this section will kind of give that contrast that we need to see a little bit more. Maybe I'll do some up here at the top, just because you lose a lot of information on the edges, so it's good to see where your piece is actually ending and what parts of the. Now might as well hit some in here to round out that center. It's a little bit lighter of a white than the rest. There's a little bit more white in that area, so it's kind of giving a lighter feel, as well as down here in the corner. Cool. Looking good. Slow. It sounds like you went to Lovebot's pop-up. I hope it was pretty sick. I heard good things about it. It seemed pretty popular on his page. So now we got Toji. What kind of sticker should we hit? How about a holographic Sive Shell? See how good these look on the stream. I rarely use paint and brush, actually. I don't hate it by any means. It's just one of those that I don't get a ton of time with. Preference is definitely markers, and they work a little better for the graffiti-oriented stuff. So now for colors on this guy. I think I'll keep the chrome as the fill, and then we can go. I use lime green and purple on my speed art, so let's deviate from that a little. What a light blue. Maybe light blue, dark blue. See how that works out. I missed a stipple in the E. Shall I add a little bit more here? Koji. This is going to be a little tight squeeze. But I'm feeling a freestyle here. Thinking a perfect circle for an O. That way I can dot the I in a similar way. This will also actually work well. Put the J up under there. Nice. Colors look cool with my light coming off there. Have I ever used canvas for graffiti? Of course I have. I've done massive canvases, I've done small canvases. Right now I've got actually one in the works that's probably 24 by 30, so a pretty good medium-sized one. I've done full pieces on canvases once or twice in the past. That's always fun. And also one of my kind of practice walls is a big roll of canvas that'll stretch out, so that works pretty well. And yeah, that's one of my biggest suggestions, is just get a big drop cloth canvas from Amazon. I think they're like $20 and you can get it literally 20 feet wide, and I think it must be 5 feet tall, 6 or 5 feet tall, because I have two of them strapped together on with a bit of overlap on there, and they work perfectly for like an 8 by 16 kind of practice wall, which is a little small for spray paint. I would like a little bit more area for painting, but you know, can't complain when it's mobile and can roll back up afterwards. Yeah, I think this negative space in there is going to look really nice. I'm telling you, you guys need to pick up some of these holographics. They are fun to draw on. And despite them being somewhat of a gloss surface, they take Molotows so nicely. So I'm doing a big grace for my school, doing paintbrush. Nice. I mean, some of the old school guys would even do, roller paints for some of their pieces and totally roller paint it in, and then use one or two cans for an outline and just call it at that. It's a far more economic way to paint than getting everything aerosol. Streaking a little bit on the wet light blue. So now I really want to keep some of that negative chrome in there, so maybe I'll do a bottom left drop shadow, keep it small as well. Can always cut back in with my light blue, which I think I'll need to do. Just to smooth out some of those edges. First, gonna make sure all my dark blue lines are perfect so I don't have to come back on those later. Oh, Jesus, I'm smearing. Hopefully it's still wet enough. Kind of coming off. Looks alright. Can barely see it on the this TV. Nice. How did I come up with the name Sive? So I actually had the name, a bunch of different names obviously when I was just starting, but I was writing kind of like a few kind of combo names. So I was writing Fast, F-A-S-T, and then I liked it that I could do kind of an extended version of that as like Fast Lane. Don't ask me, how corny that is, but that was my original kind of name I was doing for a little bit. And then I picked up Side, S-I-D-E, when I also was kind of doing Side Swipe as the combo name. I thought that would be a cool way to have an extended name basically in two versions of the same thing. So that phase lasted for a little while, and then I didn't like the D so much. I was drawing it lowercase quite a bit actually, trying to be edgy. And I just ended up throwing that out and threw a V in instead, and that kind of stuck. And I like to say that it was kind of the composition that interested me as far as it went, just because the D didn't work so great with an I right next to it. And I'm sure there's exceptions to that. I'm sure you can find some artist that's killing it with a D and an I combo, but yeah, just in general, I didn't quite feel it at the time, so I threw the V in, and it was something totally different that not only wasn't a word, but basically was something I could kind of own as my own. So took that up and kind of just ran with it. I've definitely had thoughts of changing it at times, but I get enough variation with those letters that they're fun to work with. And so it's stuck now. I think it'll stick for just about forever. Nice. I think that looks pretty good. I wish it had maybe a little bit more sticker room so I could do the eye dot, the same kind of aspect as that, but it looks pretty good. I think maybe some mild cracks on it. I don't know if I want to keep it super clean. I think I should also cut back this part of the O a little bit. A little bit more consistency with the rest of the piece. Though I did like that line. Doesn't fit in the overall scheme of it. Yeah, it looks pretty sick. I almost just want to leave it as is. No bonus highlights, just flat. Thoughts in the chat? Anybody think we should throw a white on or something else? Justin, I'll definitely hit you up if you hit me up in the DMs on Instagram. We can maybe chit chat and get something put together. Thinking white? White sounds good. Nick thinks it's good. Put some white. We've got a little bit of competing efforts. All right, check. Represent. How you doing, man? Hope you're excited for the other part of your gang run. Doing it next week sometime. Should be fresh. All right. So I've got my drop shadow to the left, so I'm gonna do my highlights on the right. These are gonna be super subtle. That's about it. I don't want to overdo this one. I like the color combo so much. Told you I might have to steal it for some of my own designs. The only thing, I wish I didn't run off the edge over here, but we'll have to run it. Alright. Looks like his Insta is Toji_main. Are there periods in there too? Looks like it. Alright, well, I'll have to check you out afterwards. Maybe I can get this sticker off your way as well. Alright. Well, if anybody else wants a name request, feel free to, support a little bit in the super chat. Otherwise, I think I'm going to work on one of the stickers I started. We've got, is it possible to do a tag for free? Gavin, I can hit up a Gavin tag if you'd like. But I can do decks in the moment as well. I'll show off this piece. This is something I was working on. Keep my hand out of the frame so it keeps the contrast actual correct. Seems to be all right now. But yeah, I've got basically a trifold wall, so these will be kind of bent around corners. But this is kind of what I came up with. I think it looks pretty cool. It's a weird kind of layout in there, but definitely something a little bit different. I don't know if I'll stick with these exact colors because the wall's kind of gray, but nice nonetheless. All right, trap cell or decks as we go by. I'm doing well. Hope you guys are following along. Decks. So what's something I haven't quite done yet? Did a nice kind of little throw up on those two guys. Maybe I'll do another straight letter. Got some more big postals here. Courtesy of our favorite supplier. Hey, Duck and Cover. What's poppin'? What's poppin'? Enjoying this little bit of a live stream here. I don't even know how many of you guys are in here. I don't have my my YouTube page up. Definitely having fun though. I tried getting some other guys in on the stream, but nobody was free tonight, so it was just a lonely soul here. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. See if I can keep you guys entertained. I definitely would like to get on a kind of regular schedule with the behind the art stuff, but definitely an interesting challenge trying to keep multiple schedules consistent. Dex. Interesting name. I think the KZ is going to be a cool combo. I'm going to hit the lowercase e. Haven't done one of those tonight. Alright, so I'm gonna tilt my K the same as I tilted the E, or sorry, the D. So I'm gonna kind of do a D this way, an E, a K, hopefully the Z back that way. So that means the main stem of the K should come up like this. We'll have a little hat on top so it keeps things filled in up there. Looks like we're skipping a little bit. I'm going to pause the music for a second, hopefully. Oh geez, my internet's going crazy. I'm going to pause for just a sec. Let my internet settle down. Alright, looks like we're still lagging a little bit. How are things coming through on your side? Oh, you guys haven't hit this just yet. Let's test that out. Alright, let me know now that I killed the video feed. Let's see if it comes back. Damn. Alright, I'm going to stop the stream for 10 seconds and patch her back together. Oh, should be good. Okay. Hopefully that works better. Regained it, so we'll see if this works. I think my roommates just bumped down on some Netflix. Alright, let me know if it's good. Gavin, I caught your Astro, thank you. Alright. So everybody give a 1 in the comments if everything's working well. It seems fine on my side. I killed my music. And should be hopefully good. Thankfully it lags on my end too. Alright. Sounds good. I had it hiccup once in the pre-recording while I was playing music. So we'll see. We'll see how that works. I'd rather not risk it, but the music is also a nice touch in the background. So maybe we'll let some music preload and get back to it. So, I was trying to explain how I hit the K. So I hate the bottom of this right now. I was just mustered up in the downtime. So, maybe I'll just do a flat hit like that. Who's Dex with a Z? Do I know Shave? I don't think I know anybody named Shave, or that goes by the alias of Shave. So if I want to tilt this Z, I'm just going to do a real crude straight letter right now. So my two bottoms are going to be tilted at the same angle as this center bar of the E. And then I'll just connect on up. Cool. Alright, now that I got a nice little pink on there. Can I play Metallic? I think you mean Metallica? I definitely, that's definitely copywritten. Alright, my music was skipping again. That's interesting. My music's stored on my solid state drive as well, so it's kind of strange that that would skip. That should be always running, basically. So we've got Dex right here. Do a little plate on the bottom of this E. Flip it up back to the top of the K. That looks real red on the screen. I think my presets on this, the contrast must be a little bit funky. But oh well, we'll run with the punches. If you search up Shave Graffiti, you'll find a channel. Actually, I think I am. I think I do know it because he has. There's a piece I feel like I've seen in a thumbnail all the time that's Shave. It's kind of orange and black and got a kind of a hybrid style in that it's not quite a straight letter, but it's also a little bit more than just a standard piece. So maybe I definitely not super familiar with the content, but I think I might have seen the name online before, especially here on YouTube. All right, if you think that is if that's him, is he posting videos recently? Because I wasn't able to come up with anybody that was free tonight to join in on join in on the stream. So definitely looking for more more people that are active on YouTube that are posting around to help chit chat and draw and whatnot. As it's it's definitely interesting when I'm here, but it's also more fun to have a conversation with somebody else and put a little bit of combination work together. Especially the longer form stuff, you can hash out ideas a little bit more clearly, and you don't have to edit the whole video down. So it works well to be a little bit more on the live side. Thinking this dark purple is going to be some nice wavy stuff. Throw some bubbles in there. Also kind of like leaving the idea of some white in here as part of the fill. Do kind of the hard one, kind of red pink, and then the hard, kind of soft wavy purple. Try to think of a unique outline that's maybe just do a dark purple outline. That would look pretty tight. Feel free, yeah, Blake, feel free to request colors as well. I'm kind of just doing them random. Yeah, Trap Cell, the Shave with the orange and black colors, that's definitely the one I'm looking at, or remembering at least. But yeah, feel free to request colors and whatnot. And if you have a style suggestion, by all means, that's fine too. Probably spend 10 or 20 minutes on each sticker, just working through it. Nothing special. I'm using this as practice nonetheless, but also helps to when you guys show a little bit of support, also trickles out into some of my other projects, so that's always nice. Alright, time to find a dark purple. Well, let's just do got maroon and somewhat of a dark purple. I think this is a little too neon for... It's a little close. I think I'll make it work though. Something about paint marker outlines, just that the fact that they're kind of that solid opacity just makes them pop so much more. And two, that's also kind of a fun suggestion. If you are making stickers and you don't want to color them all the way in with paint markers, at least do the outline with paint markers so that that lasts. Out in the elements, colors, specifically crayolas, they won't last at all. But if if you're using Sharpies and whatnot, and you want something to last mildly, having that outline be a totally solid color with a paint marker is going to make at least that survive way longer than all the rest. So kind of a good budget solution to working with paint markers. And if you only have one paint marker to grab, your outline color is definitely going to probably be your safest bet. Alright, dare we try the music again? Skip over to a new song. Let's see if this kicks off. Alright, we're 1 second in. Sounds good. I'm not skipping. Alright, we're running the risk. We also know now that I can kind of just back off on the computer load and it'll hopefully correct itself if we start lagging again. I wonder why my Ethernet would have bothered with that. I guess it can choke up though, because I'm uploading the live stream with that, so. Last time, I'm pretty sure it was last time we had the whole stream go down because overheated my modem entirely. Free dog food day. I hope you're not eating it. I feel like Z is also something I haven't practiced in a while. I kept this one nice and simple, but maybe someone else's name will also have it. Damn, time really does fly on the stream. We're already an hour and 20 minutes in. Alright, time to salvage this K a little bit. I was hiding too much below it. I think I'm going to do a big 3D on this, and then also on these double purple sections, maybe hit that with a white outline so that we can also have a little bit more contrast between the outline there. If you guys are saying you like Shave's content, maybe I'll have to give it a look. I'm surprised it went past my radar. I was browsing around, literally just looking up, any upload that was tagged with Graffiti this week. Kind of trying to go through and see what new content's being put out there. It's always nice to see what other people are working on and some names that I might not see in my general passings on YouTube. Needless to say, I didn't seem to come up with anything. Rake 43? That's an interesting name. I don't know that I recognize this stuff either. Definitely down to check out anybody that people suggest. or if any of you guys upload, feel free to spam the comments with your page. I always like seeing what other people are working on, and there's always tons of opportunity to collaborate within the community. What's my favorite channel? I'd say the channel I've been watching most recently. I honestly, most dedicated. I probably don't miss anything. I definitely check out all of John's videos. I watch most of Doke's videos too. Slew, always checking out his stuff. He's pumping them out right now. But really outside the graffiti space, it seems like are some of the channels I'm a little bit more dedicated to. I watch all the Corridor Digital stuff. They do kind of short form skits and whatnot. I'll honestly watch a bunch of podcasts and whatnot, whether that's the Joe Rogan or what's another one I've been watching recently. I don't know. I feel like YouTube's kind of in a limbo season right now. There's not a ton of content that's die hard for myself to go check out, but could just be the timing of the year. The end of the winter, people are not doing as much crazy stuff outside. Adds a little bit more uniqueness to the video. There was actually a new channel that I forget the name now. The guy, it seems to kind of be a satire graffiti-oriented channel. Seemed to be kind of a well-rounded guy, but pretends to be a little bit on the toy side, painting and whatnot, and he's got a little character that he's doing. So, I forget the name of it, but it threw up in my suggestions box once, and then I caught it again. Definitely some pretty funny stuff. Check out the artist block. Yes, I'm very familiar with the artist block. He's got some real quality stuff. He actually put together a review today. It was funny. He was dogging on the markers that he was working on. He was like, I can't suggest these to anybody. They seem to have a little bit of a streaking issue. And definitely recommend checking that video out if you haven't already. It's always a tough thing to say. But thankfully, I've only had to dog a couple products in my reviews. They, more or less, they work, pretty much as described, so that's always nice. But sometimes, man, they just come through, and you're just very surprised that the performance is so subpar, and it was able to get out of a factory, and someone was willing to sell it. This kind of burnt yellow color I'm really digging. Looks pretty good on camera. Looks a little better in person. Maybe also do some kind of wavies with this. Have you seen the Phillygraph channel? Yes, I have. That kind of slipped my mind, but honestly, he's been posting quite a bit lately. They did a pretty sweet one with the most recent snowstorm. Seems like he has either been stocking up footage or just getting live recently. The man Shoba hit up one of the snow videos pretty well. He seems to be keeping busy. It's interesting, the Phillygraph scene right around where I live isn't too popular. Something new will pop up maybe once a month, but you go a mile away and it's new stuff every time I go over there. So it's kind of funny, the small regional stuff that even some areas aren't as hit. But those guys are definitely doing some pretty cool stuff. A lot of tagging coming up. It seems like that's what those videos are more oriented towards. But hey, it's some really solid documentation. The guy that puts the videos together is pretty sweet stuff. Could also use maybe an orange in the backdrop. Do some more lightning. The Philly Graph channel. I look that up real quick. Because it's definitely worthwhile checking out. They've got, I feel like last year sometime was when they started uploading a little bit more frequently. That's not what I'm looking for. Yeah, it's Graph PHL. I'll type it in the chat for you guys. Definitely worthwhile checking out. Some real solid stuff. I would, yeah. Wow, the video's popping off. 32,000. Bombing Philly, Bore, Soba, and Wacko. Definitely worth checking out. They posted a couple weeks ago. What's some of your guys' favorite videos to watch? I definitely enjoy the entertainment value of all the bombing stuff. That's some of my favorite. Obviously, it's, you know, a little bit more of a thrilling video to watch rather than just you know, someone sketching in the room like this. But nonetheless, I feel like there's still some entertainment value here. Cool. Maybe I'll hit some light orange highlights in here, just as a little subtlety. Dex. Alright, looks like we got Astro up next. Astro, did you have any suggestions on style or colors? I'll hit up a tag while we wait. Stomp Down, obviously. Yeah, that goes without saying. Stomp Down's got some crazy stuff. Miles hits up Instagram videos and stories like no other. He's always piecing in the yard and getting his thing doing. Astro's a pretty fun name. I'll give a little tag to Pacer. Anybody else wanna tag? How do we salvage that R? Came in way too hot. Yeah, duck and cover. Miles just goes in on them. Scan, was it? Yeah. Kate took up a little bit too much room. I feel like I'm off to the side too much, covering it up with this chat over here. Alright, one more tag before we hit up Astro. We got a square block. A little bit of a rectangle here. Alright, I saw Crow first. You guys with the C's. Sloppy, sloppy. Let's hit the backside of this guy. See if we can do a little better crow. Need a little bit more room here. All right, one more, and then we'll do Astro again. Definitely need a little bit more room on these guys. Let's try righty, Astro. Let's hit up. Get some white guys right here. I wish I had some spray paint. Let's do a big backdrop. Get some old jumbos here. Actually, let's work it from a tag. Let's practice spacing on the tag, and then let's do it. So let's start with a short side on the A. Come across here. This is kind of a fun way to make a letter. Just work up from those boxes real rigidly with the boxes of the marker itself. So maybe drop the S down low so I can do the T across. There's a little bit more juice here. Okay, gonna keep that kind of similar angle here with the T. I guess a curve would look nice. Follow the S as well. Still need more juice. These markers slowing down. Do I build letters like this a lot? I can't say it's a super common way for me to build letters up, but I can also say I have been doing it a little bit more recently. It's kind of a fun way to kind of forcibly make boxes and limits you a little bit. But at the same rate, I can go in and add a hookup in here if I really want to, all the same. So hit a top on the S. It's a little less forgiving as far as if you want to cut something back. Mistakes are a little bit more pronounced as they're a little bigger, but sometimes it lets you get some little unique effects. And I do think, forcing yourself to draw letters in slightly different manners and approach it in a little bit different ways makes you understand them a little bit more wholesomely. Like you can see this A seems to be kind of cutting in here and then coming down. So I'll just try to make that a little bit straighter from the top to the bottom. T needs quite a bit of work here, but all work in progress. I almost wish I had like a kink in the T. We'll save that to fix up a little bit. Gonna do a short leg on the R. And the O is gonna overlap just a bit. I think I might repeat my style of O that I hit earlier. Wide top, skinnier bottom. And I can also hit some hookups off the side of it. Square it off like the rest of this. Bulk up some of these letters. Alright, how do we salvage this T? Let me make that kink that I was looking for. Have it come in front of the S, probably. Maybe we just straighten it out as well. Now that we got the O in, we can make the R a little bit longer. Yeah, man, these short sides are having trouble juicing. Do I know Hand Styler? Not personally, but I'm definitely familiar with the their channel. They put together some real cool videos. Maybe a hook up on the edge of there, hook up on the bottom of the S to square it up. All right. Now I've got a lime green fat guy. Let's see if we can get some fading almost out of this. Almost looks like we got grass growing on the bottom of these letters. Maybe have another color to do it from the top down. I do. Looks like I got it in yellow. This look cool. Alright. I feel like the same songs are playing. I've got a playlist of like 80 songs. Yellow's a little bit juicier. Maybe we'll come back with the orange into some of the yellow. Yeah, this is a little bit more defined than the green. Not to fear, it's still wet. Come back up with some orange. Now it's time for a little bit of an outline. I mean, we hit the green before. Let's see what other dark colors we got. Oh, we got a real dark blue. That'll be nice. Can I play James Brown? I am only going to play music I already know is copyright free right now. But I'll definitely write it down, and if it's copyright free in the future, I'll hit it up. So now I can go in with this dark blue and hit some of the outline. I'm not going to be able to cut back as much with the orange and whatnot, so I might have to take this one a little slow. We'll see. Alright, peace out, Adam. Thank you for joining us for a little while. Appreciate stopping in. Dragging around paint already. Time for that yellow to dry. There we got the side of the A coming together. Remp, thank you for the kind words. Look at the backside of my hand. Messy as can be. Picking up some orange as well. Coming together. Hit our crisscross across the A. Finish off this line here. Alrighty, it's a little wonky. Let's straighten that out. Might be able to save it with some 3D on the one side. It's amazing at how many times I, mess up a line and then just have to orient my 3D to save it. But most times it's salvaged enough with that you don't have to worry too much. Man, that is still wet. Clogging up my blue. Robert, I'm glad my videos came together for you and worked out. Oscar, thank you for supporting for 5 years. Alright, now I'm going to avoid the T for a little bit. I'm going to hit up the S now. Little skipping. Alright, we said we were gonna cross over the bottom of this T. Give it a little bit more power on the page. Ship 200 rulers to Sive? You think I need some rulers? My straight letters could use it. It's kind of crazy how much in a straight letter actually using a ruler helps put the, just that much better of a line on it. Jesus, I am sloppy on the backside of these hands. I can still see some of this orange is wet there too. Slow. I actually have a whole video filmed on making a multicolor silkscreen. I did it alongside those Lovebot prints I made recently. So I just have to go through the crap load of footage I have. And actually voice over most of it. Definitely a fun process though. And that means I also have a full kind of recap video of all the Lovebot stuff I've been printing. I don't know if you guys follow me on Instagram. It's been quite a bit of my downtime recently has been put towards screen printing. Alright. Now it's time to rework. Cut these back, throw some 3D on, see what's poppin'. Alright, so I started the A's 3D over here to the right. I think it's going to be due up to the right, and I'll cover up some of my mistakes here. But I also want to make it probably a tad bit fatter. Trying not to wipe over top of this again. Can't imagine what it's like to be a lefty artist. You'd constantly be battling, writing over top of your letters and smearing everything around. I definitely commend you for the extra hardship you have to go through with each piece. I think I'm going to want this S to come in a little bit more. Oh, Jesus. Now the orange is leaking. You can see why this marker might have been shelved for a little while. Sloppy, sloppy. Alright, looks like we're taking a pause on the bottom of that S. Work out some other areas. Looks good, looks good. Yeah, I could use 200 rulers if you have them. It's also nice to add your 3D in and then kind of reconsider what areas need a little bit more work on your letters. I feel like sometimes letters, just need the 3D to really help out some different sections. Gonna have to come up with a creative way to cut back some of these without having to use the larger marker every time. Still wet over there. Jesus. Alright, this is going to be a timely guy. Looking pretty good. Tee's a little funky, but I like it. Alright, force field time. Suggestions on colors. Maybe do a pink. I got that neon pink from before. I've got a little bit more of a subtle pink. Maybe pink and purple. I think a double pink outline would look nice. Lucky I'm not. I tried shipping these out to people when they requested it, but it was somewhat of a hassle to get people's information afterwards and ensure that it was, the right person. So these are pretty much, I save them for other things. Yeah, I'm busy. So it's not that easy to actually put them together and get them shipped out, unfortunately. So I'll put them together and, send them out as freebies and t-shirt orders or whatnot. So if you really want to get into it and you really want the piece, feel free to email me and maybe we can work it out. But for the most part, it's kind of a big ordeal to then follow up with everybody. Do I like Montana markers? Yeah, they're pretty good. I'm using one right now. This is a couple years old, so it's a little touchy at times. It seems to bleed a little bit easier. When I juice it, it kind of just exhausts everything and flows out. I wouldn't say they're perfect markers. They seem to be a little bit thinner than Molotows, but definitely good coverage and good opacity. You can see here it's not having much issue going over that dark blue Molotow, so it's always a good sign, especially from pink. The Montana marker is also a little bit wetter. You definitely can't, well, maybe you can. You can see it's picking up a little bit here. It's making the top of this sticker wet, and it's kind of fallen victim to that. So, slight downside. I don't see that with, maybe I can see it a little bit with the dark blue, but not the end of the world. Still rocking. Have I ever wondered what it'd be like to be colorblind? I sure have. Unfortunately, that sounds like not a lot of fun. It seems like you'd be missing out on quite a bit of entertainment. But I have seen those videos of people with the colorblind glasses that seem to help quite a bit. But I don't know if that's kind of one of those things you try out, then you force yourself to wear them every day because you like the difference that much better. But you would, this piece definitely would be less than interesting if it was all just gray tones. Alright, so that orange is still wet and exhausted it quite a bit. I guess I can, where's that purple? I'm gonna do some purple hits. Nib's falling apart a little bit. Could be time for a new one. The marker I'm using right now is a Molotows. The pink one I just used was a Montana German acrylic, I believe. Yep, acrylic. Those work pretty well. And then I was also using Montana acrylic on all the fill, but those were some big broad tips. And then the dark blue is also another Molotows. All these work great on paper, stickers. I should make my own ink. I haven't had the best results with homemade ink. You know, they totally work fine as far as, you know, when anything I put together in a review is something I stand by. I've never really considered making a full-blown, you know, gallons at a time. More or less, it's just enough for my personal use, and then whatever I'm working on. But maybe a little research into a real formal ink type would be interesting. See what it would take to make a little DIY manufacturing. What ink do I use for sieve shells? I screen print with solvent ink, and that is some tough stuff. That won't go anywhere. But you can't really paint with that. Although I haven't really tried thinning it out and putting it in a marker. So I'll use more ink-based and stain-based stuff for anything I hand draw. just because it is a gloss surface, so Montana and anything acrylic doesn't bond really directly to it. So either a clear coat or add some acetone to your paint markers, and it'll hold it much better than it does out of the box. But screen printing is definitely the most durable way to go about it. I think I'm gonna have to hit this with at least somewhat of a shadow, so I have something to cut back the orange and blue with. Because I don't think it's worthwhile trying with that big marker that just keeps running everywhere. Well, it seems to have almost dried by now, thankfully. Gavin, if you shoot me an email with your information, I can probably get you it. All right, hit it with some cutbacks on some white or something, and then we're done. Sorry if I spent a little too long on this guy, but it was fun experimenting with the bigger markers. Yeah, white sounds good. No, let's do silver. Something I haven't worked with before on the stream. So long as I can find one. Molotows silver. My email is Mr. spelled out SIVE at AOL.com. So just spell out Mr. Sive at AOL. But it is also on my website. One thing downside about the Molotows silver is it's almost just like a dark gray. It's not quite that liquid chrome. Still gets the job done, I suppose. Pentel makes a killer chrome if you ever got a chance to catch one of those. Uh-oh, we're skipping again. Let things settle down. My apologies. I'll finish the sticker up, and by the time we're back, we've got something new to hit. I wonder what sets this off. I'm in the middle of a song. I'm not using anything. I see a spike on my Ethernet, but that should just be it struggling to upload, not skipping around. I'll give the sticker a little cutout too while we're chilling. Alright, let's hope we're back. Perfect. Alright, sorry about the downtime. How about, yeah, we do some tags, speed this up a little bit. Feel free to drop your tag requests down below. And if you want to prioritize your tag, feel free to maybe throw a buck in the chat. I can do dues for you. Astro finished out. One last look. It's unfortunate the big markers turned to be a little bit of a vein rather than working out super hot. Alright. What do we got here for markers? Let's hit dark blue over here. So we got dues first up. Slow, Fez, Yang. Make sure you guys can see this. What's up next? Slow. A little sloppy. Please do pencil. That's a cool one. Fez. Let's change up the color. Oh, we'll hit the rest of the sheet. Kind of doing a gradient on that. Yang up next. Why is our a little tricky? I feel like I should hit the lowercase g. pretty tight. I like that. And it turned out pretty nice. Maybe even do a reverse G the next time and kind of give it a little fan out in either direction. Next up, pencil. I believe that's how you pronounce it. Maybe we'll do silver on this black side shell. Alright, gotta start that smaller. I feel like that's every damn time. A little bit better. Do coy. Oh, we got a couple more before that. Alright. Wreck. Or warp. Streaking. Could use a little bit more room on that one too. Reco. Rico? Reco? I think Rico's with a C. Coy. Excellence. Remember you from the first live stream I did names on. We're moving faster. Do I have a gold marker? Yeah, we'll see how it works. Got an old... Yeah, there's no way this guy's writing. Yeah, that nib is pretty dry. Time to pitch that guy. Damn, I forgot how much painter stunk. I think that was my only gold. Hope you like brown. Funzy. With an S or a Z? That FU combo is not the easiest. Doesn't help this marker's drying out. I don't know how I'd do that FU combo. Because it's kind of hard, because if you do under here and then it stretches above, I guess that's not terrible. Interesting name. Alright, I'll do a couple more before I get out of here. Looks like we're doing well enough to throw the music back on. We got Cope, Faux, Easer. Triad. Punch Productions. If you're wondering about the holographic stickers, you can get them on my web store. They're Sive shells. Destructible vinyl, so they're wicked strong against the buff. And come on, who doesn't want shiny stickers like that? Easter. Alright, we got Easter. Clipto. Change up the color again. Marker was flowing well earlier. To blue. How'd you spell that? You guys love dropping some letters out of names. And Ranger, Ragnar. That is something unique. I feel like the red on some hollows would look nice. Got a little bit of room on the bottom of this kind of messy sticker. Who's up next? Slack. Nice. Red does look hot on those. Let me grab some more out of my bin. Alright, last couple tags here before I get out of here. Throw your names in the basket and we'll get them going. You already hit Faux up. We'll go Asker 1. Reds are looking hot. Please do cyber in a one-liner. Alright, I'm gonna need some more room for that. A one-liner IEBER. That might be a little messy. This is off the cuff. Let's see what we got. S. BE. Where we at? Oh. Forgot knee at the beginning. One-liners definitely require a little bit of planning. Neebs or nebs. Psych. Playing around. Alright, Spaz, you're gonna be the last one. Let's hope it's good. Damn. Can't end on that kind of P. Ooh, my red is not flowing enough. Used up the last of my red. Alrighty, we're gonna do. How about we do a quick run through of all the stickers, and then I'll get out of here. Let you guys go browse the interwebs somewhere else. Alright, Punch. Since you asked the question before, we'll do Landon after I go through all the stickers. So we hit up Astro for a big guy. Nice orange fill. Did this with some of the bigger markers. Couple colors there. Solid one. Definitely took a little while, but fun to work on. Here's that Cyber one-liner. Forgot a little bit. Definitely got messy. Here's some tags from earlier. So we got Remk. Black. We got Crow. A little messy there. Definitely not a perfect tagger. I think this was supposed to be center. I ran out of room for the R, so we got just SINNE. We got Pacer. Sken. SKEN. Pacer again. Got a little bit of an Astro. Similar inspiration to the big guy. We got Dens hit up the super chat. Got a big piece there. Pace also did the super chat. This one's probably might be my favorite design on the stream. I like the color combo. Wish I could maybe have used an orange fill so we got a little bit more consistency and the ability to cut back on some of these. But all in all, cool one right there. Didn't do this on the stream, but this is a piece I worked on today. Just a little something for a future kind of mural, potentially. Scales was the first guy we hit up. That was the little freebie on the kind of old school. Definitely not the best, but worked it out. We got Ragnar. Funzy messing me up with the FU combo. Not the easiest. Yang. Powerhouse there. Doos. Slowly. I think it's slowly, right? Slowly. Slowly. Fez. Could definitely use this not to cross so much right there. Onto the hollows. Looks like I wiped some of this A off before it dried, so we got Spaz. There's our A. Nebs. Aska 1. Toji. Hot Fire. That hologram. Fresh. Excellence. Koi. Uh-oh. Shouldn't have packed them on top so tight. Another Koi. Got the triple Cope Foe and Easer. Another Spaz. Pencil. Pencil again. The Warp. Got the Tight Warp. And then Rico or Recco. Alright, I said I do land in one more. I thank you guys for telling me not to stop, but, you know, got other things to do at this point. Been on here for 2.5 hours, so definitely enjoyed it, but expect, you know, more content like this. If you, you know, showed me enough support, seems like people are definitely liking the content. The live form is fun. Maybe I'll get some more artists in here last time, or in the next time, I mean. Alright, we got Landon. Alright, that's all we wrote today, boys. Catch you guys at a later date. Feel free to like and share this video. I'll probably pause the upload on this and maybe, well, I suppose I can leave the upload up and then maybe I'll post a recap in the next couple days about you know, just showing off the formal stickers I produced doing this, and then maybe cut down some of the speed arts to a little bit finer of a, you know, speed kind of thing. So, yeah, definitely check out my web store if you're interested in any of the blank stickers. I've got the holographic stickers. These are Sive Shell, super durable. Got the black Sive Shell as well. Also, be on the lookout for that t-shirt drop in a couple weeks' time. Got to edit up the lookbook that I filmed while I was gone. And thank you for checking out this week's kind of entertainment. I know it's not a formal video, but, you know, check out maybe the past couple hours if you missed something from the beginning and wanted to see how, you know, I was painting these or what I was talking about during that time. That's going to do it for me, guys. Feel free to spam each other's Instagrams in the chat if you want to check out some of the other artists that were in the chat. It's always nice to see who is active, and be sure to also hit up some of those other channels I mentioned earlier. There's a bunch of cool stuff happening on YouTube right now. Cool to see other guys hitting it hard. That's going to do it for me, guys. Peace.